Hi, everyone, and welcome to Money Minded. Today is Friday, March the 22nd. This is pre recorded again this week. So, just want to say hello to everybody. Welcome to Soul Sisters 10X, where we are talking tonight about being money minded. So, anyway, last week where we left off, we had started talking about the first two things in this Save Your Money, how to be financially stable, trying to get a financial mind. And we talked about discipline, and we talked about starting that budget. So, hopefully, everybody's gotten there and everybody got whatever way that you want to have your budget written down, either a spreadsheet, a journal, whatever the case might be. Hopefully that we have that all written down. You have everything written down of what you have to pay out, what's versus what's coming in. So tonight we're going to talk about budgeting, getting that budget going and getting it ready so we can have a plan to be able to stick to. Okay, I believe last week we also talked about SMART goals. When you're setting that budget, make sure that it's specific, it's measurable, attainable. What was our reliable and time bound? You want to give yourself some goals that you know that you're able to meet, because a lot of times if we set goals for ourselves and we can't meet those goals, it's easy for us to quit and we just throw it to the side. Okay, and we also want to keep in mind that it takes 21 consecutive days to change your behavior. Okay, so this is not going to be easy. It's not like you're going to make a magic budget and all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to just go ahead and go off of my budget and I'm all set. No, because things are going to happen, wants are going to happen, different needs are going to happen that might throw things off a little bit. Okay, so we got to keep in mind that this is all a process, and if we're trying to change our mindset of how we think about our finances. Okay, so let's get into it. Again, doing some more research and things, I found some information about budgeting, and most of the information I found is about the same when it comes to how much you should to allot to each different account. And I believe last week we talked about wants and needs, things that you have to have, things that you want to incorporate in your life, and then just savings. Okay, because savings has to be a part of your budget. You'll never save if you don't make savings a part of your budget. Okay, so what I found was the rule of thumb is 50% should be for your needs. You should have 30% for your wants, and then the other 20% should go for savings. Okay, so 50% is for your needs. Your needs are things as your house, your utilities, your groceries, stuff, your gas, your car insurance, things that you need. You can't go to work without some kind of transportation. So if you don't have a car, then you need to put in there your Ubers or Lyfts or your cabs, or however you're getting to and from these places. Those are your needs. It goes in that needs category. Okay, and then your wants are like your entertainment, your dinner, your Netflix, cable and whatnot. There's so many different streaming services and things that are happening now, and I know they're cutting down with sharing passwords and all those things. Okay, so those are things that you want to put under your wants category. Okay, and then the last part would be your 20% for savings. Okay, you want to set aside savings. So I know right now, if you got all these things written down and you say, oh my goodness, I have no way to save, we're going to try to critique it and move things around a little bit so you'll be able to put something in that savings. And again, even if it's just $5, it's a beginning, it's a way to start, and eventually you'll see and be able to increase on what you are saving. Okay, so try to have that as a rule of thumb. You got your paycheck, 50% should go on your needs, 30% should go on your wants, and 20% should go on your savings. Okay, now if you don't have any savings, you're going to want to take that 20% away from your wants, not away from your needs. You could probably to try to get some of your your needs down into a savings, but that may come over time. Okay. That may come over time. So it's very, very important that we get this budget going and we get it started. Okay. So when you're looking into your budget, you make sure you put everything in each category. Okay. And then you have to stick to it. That's the part that's hard. Okay. So now we got this plan. We got everything written down. I got my spreadsheet ready. I got my journal ready. I know what I'm going to do, but it's hard to stick to it. Okay. It only gonna work if you stick to the plan. All right. So I'm going to try to give you some tips to be able to help you stick to the plan. Okay. First of all, you have to keep in your mind that Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. So you're going to have struggles with it, but you have to keep that positive attitude, that positive mindset. You have to tell yourself that you can. This is a Christian channel, so I'm going to use a Bible verse. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Use that in your financial thinking as well. Okay. Use that scripture for your benefit. Lord, I can do this with your help. I can save money. You have to talk to yourself. Get yourself a sticky note. Write it around. Post it. Remind yourself that you're going to stick to your budget. Okay. If you are an impulse buyer, okay, what does that mean? Somebody who just, I see that, I want that, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. Okay. This is where your money minded comes in. You have to start changing your mind. Take that time to think about it before you do it. Give yourself 24 to 48 hours to do it. For an example, I just saw, I'm a purse girl. And I think I mentioned it before. I had just purchased another Coach purse when I was in South Carolina, and a purse came up on one of the social media. It's purple and white. It's really cute. I want it. But I still have not purchased that. Instead of impulsively, I want it, I saw it, I have the money to buy it. No, do you really need that? You got to kind of talk to yourself and convince yourself and hold off on that purchase. Okay, so that would give yourself time to think about it before you just rush into doing it. And once you get in the habit of starting doing that, you'll find yourself not being such an impulsive buyer. Okay. One thing that can also help you too is cost. Cost is going high. Inflation is high. Things that we bought a few years ago are going up and up and up and up in price. Okay. So for me, that helps me to not be an impulse buyer. I'll give you another example. I was at Walmart this past weekend getting some things for my grandchildren's Easter baskets, and they had a bag of candy. Bag of candy was $24.97. I can't spend that much money on one bag of candy. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I even put it in my little family group chat. The kids' Easter baskets won't be full this year because grandma's not spending $25 on a bag of candy. So, again, because I've stopped being that impulsive buyer because I want it and I have it, I don't buy it. I think before I purchase. Okay. So that's something that can help you. Okay. Number 2, when you are going shopping, when you are going out to get something, even to the grocery store or whatnot, okay, consider a few things. Leave your credit card home. Don't bring your credit card with you. Okay. Well, Sharon, I don't use a credit card. I use my debit card. Okay. Bring your debit card with you, but limit yourself. Or go to the bank and get out that certain amount of money that you are going to get the groceries with. Okay. And then lock the card up in the car, leave it home, take it back home, stop at the ATM on your way. Put yourself on that budget. So for an example, if you have in your budget $200 for groceries in your needs column, that's the limit. No more. Only bring $200 with you. Okay. You will find yourself adding things up, trying to figure things out. You may put something back to get something cheaper. You might find a cheaper brand of something, but this would help you stay within your budget. You have to learn how to limit yourself. You got to stick to it. Okay. Um, if you don't, if you don't, it's going to be easy to get off of track. So limit yourself. Don't be an impulsive spender, and only bring what you have budgeted yourself to purchase. Okay. Another thought that said they said here is use a budget app to track your expenses everywhere you go. Now, I haven't seen any, I haven't tried any of this, but there's an app for everything. So I will look into this and maybe hopefully be able to give you some more information the next time. But I'm quite sure there's an app out there. Okay. Even if you want to do it on your notes. Okay. But keep something that have to help you to keep yourself on track. Back in the day, I'm aging myself. I would see women bring in their grocery list, and they would have coupons and a calculator. And as they're going through buying their groceries, they're adding up on their calculator how much they're spending. Okay. So, of course, now there's probably an app for it. So, use that app or go back old school. You got a calculator on your phone. Start adding things up to say, okay, I'm over budget. I can't afford it. I have to put this back, that back, or wait for the next time, or whatever the case might be. Okay. It's good to budget. Excuse me. It is good to budget fun. Okay. That's in your wants. Okay. Your entertainment. Because if you're just going to set a budget to pay bill or pay what your needs are, pay down your debt and some savings, you're going to fail. You're never going to be able to do it. You want to have fun. You want to have entertainment. You want to have recreation, okay? So put a small amount in there. Again, I think I expressed last week, if you like to go out to dinner and you would like to do it once, you do it once a week, maybe doing it once every 2 weeks. That will give you something to look forward to. Okay, maybe you like to take the family bowling or Billy Bees or something like that. Make sure you budget that into your budget, because that gives you, your entertainment is coming up, and that may also help you with the impulse spending. Okay, well, I ain't had nothing in my budget, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and then all of a sudden your budget's shot and you're right back to where you began because you didn't have a plan for that financially. Okay, so it's best to have those things in mind. All right. So try it for a week. Say you stay within budget. Okay. You tried it for a week. You stayed in with your budget. You did your 50% needs, your 30% wants, and your 20% savings. And you did it. Celebrate it. Okay. Pat yourself on the back. This will help you stay in budget. It's going to help you boost your confidence. You're going to say, wow, I didn't think I could do that. Wow, I didn't think I could save $50. Well, I didn't know I can handle that. You can do it. Okay. So when you succeed at it, make sure you celebrate. You may treat yourself the next time, because you saved X amount of dollars. When you do your next budget, you may next be able to put $5 extra in your recreation. Okay. But remember, you don't want to do that. It all depends on what your primary goal is. Is it just to be financially stable, to pay down debt, get ready for retirement, whatever the case might be? But you want to make sure that you stay within your original goal. All right. So our goal is to be financially stable, is to be money minded. All right. So you want to keep that in mind. Another suggestion they have down here is to let friends and family know that you're on a budget. Now, this one's a little iffy for me when I was going through this. Some of us are like myself, is very private or whatnot, and it's okay if it's okay, but you have to learn how to say no. Okay. Well, we're going to do this. Oh no, not this time. Maybe next time. Okay. So if you don't want to tell them that you're on a budget or you can't afford it at that time or whatnot, no, I won't be able to this time, or I'm just going to miss this time or something like that. Okay. Others may like it. Others say, nope, I'm on a budget. I'm trying to get financial stability, whatever way that you are on. Okay. But make sure you stick to it. In other words, don't let family and friends pressure you into doing something that's going to cost you to get off of your plan. Okay? Don't let them do it. All right. There's nice ways to put people, now there's not put people down, but put things to the side. Tell people no, thank you. Maybe next time. Okay. But stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Let them know. And then here's another thought that just came to my mind is if you have a recreation budget in there, all right, and they invite you to do something around it. It said, "Oh, no, I won't be able to do that. But next week we're going to the zoo. If you would like to join us, okay." So you could do a little reverse psychology there and put it on them, okay, in order to help you stay within your budget, and they won't even know it, okay. So another idea to help to sticking to your budget. All right. So all these are just little tips that I found online to try to help us to stay in line with the budget. All right. Make sure you have your wants, your needs, and your savings. Now, when it comes to your savings budget, okay, here's my advice to you. If you are that impulse buyer, that spender, that buyer, the spender, and you know you have a budget and you have X amount of dollars saved, okay, you need, and you're that impulse buyer, you may need to put that in a different account, okay? So open a savings account. Don't get a debit card, okay? Or any kind, don't get a checking account. Put it in a separate account where it's not easily accessible, meaning that you just can't go and grab the money out. Okay, because the goal here is to save and be financially stable. And you're not going to be able to do that if you're that impulse buyer and you got $1,000 in the bank and you see something you want and you have a savings account with a debit card in it. You're just going to slide it and you're going to buy it and you're never going to get ahead. Okay, so try to put it somewhere where it's not easily accessible. Out of sight, out of mind. That's what they used to tell us when you look. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. You're not thinking about it. And that's what we want to do with our savings. We don't want to think about it. So put it in another account, okay? Don't leave it around the house. Don't leave it under the mattress. Don't put it in the sock drawer or something. Again, because it's there. It's easy to grab. You don't want to do that because that's going to help you fail in your budgeting. Okay, so stay within your budget. Also, going back to different things we had talked about moving things around in your budget. Take a look at it. Okay, sometimes you can get things cheaper. And I believe we talked about this before, but I want to reiterate it with the budgeting. All right, shop around. Shop around. We talked about shopping around for credit cards with a lower interest rate. Shop around for better car insurance. Okay. You might get a cheaper rate with a different company. Make sure you have the same coverage that you have. Okay. Streaming services. Do you really need Netflix, Hulu, Philo, DirecTV, Spectrum, regular cable, HBO Max, all of these, ESPN? Do you really need them all? So again, do your homework, shop around, get the streaming service that best fits for you and stick to one or two, okay? The other thing is, if you're not a huge TV watcher, I'm not a huge TV watcher. I do like my shows, right? I like my Pacific shows that I watch, but I hardly ever watch them when they're on because I'm busy. So if a show comes on Wednesday at 8:00, well, Wednesday 8:00, I'm in Bible class. All right. So, I record it and I watch it afterwards. Sometimes I'll give you an example. I don't have Hulu Live. I have the regular $7.99 a month Hulu. I believe Hulu Live is, I believe, $80, $70 or $80. I believe the kids were talking about it. Okay. Well, why would I pay that much money for Hulu Live when I'm not watching it live? So I'm okay watching the show that I like to watch on the next day or two. And usually they'll stay on there for a little bit of time, okay? Um, Also consider your gym memberships. If you're not using your gym memberships, you may want to cancel for a while. Um, Planet Fitness is always running the sale all the time. It comes and it goes. Every couple months they'll come back out with it again. So even if you get rid of it for a little while and then go back to it, okay? If you're not using it, you can be saving that money and putting that in the 20% under your savings. All right. So shop around, okay? Just like you do grocery shopping. I look at the Aldi's ad. I look at the Price Chopper ad. We have a grocery store here called Shenantries. I look at the Shenantries ad, and all of these grocery stores are in my area where I'm passing by them one time or another. I've become a Big Lot shopper lately. A new type of cereal that I like, and I priced it at Price Chopper. I come to find out that it's cheaper, $1.20 cheaper at Big Lots than it is at Walmart. Okay, and I'm right next to Big Lots 2 or 3 times a week because one of my stores is in the Big Lot Plaza. So it's not like I'm going out of my way to purchase what I need. Okay, so again, do your homework when you're doing that budgeting. Also, if you're not impulsive, if you can stop the impulse buying, all right, those items that you want might go on sale. If you wait a little while, you can get that item cheaper. Okay, so maybe if I wait for the end of season, that purple and white Coach purse that I love will go on clearance, and it will be on 50% or the 70% off, and I can still get it and get it cheaper. Now, again, I'll just tell you about me. I like to purchase these things, but you know what I do when I buy them? I don't use them right away. Okay. I love this one. I'm going to carry this one for a while, carry this one for a while, and whatnot. So, another thing that you have to tell yourself, do you need that right then and there? Are you going to use it right then and there? If not, don't do the impulsive buying. And you have to talk to yourself about these things, okay? The only way a budget is going to work is if you stick to it. If you don't stick to the budget, it will not work, okay? And remember, you have to incorporate savings in your budget. I don't care if it's $5, incorporate it. I showed you that little booklet thing that I had. And it saves a certain amount of money every week. I get paid every week. So, or every week or every 2 weeks, you're going to save a certain amount of money. By the end of the year, you've reached your goal. But make sure your goal is smart. It's attainable. It's measurable. Okay. And it's time bound. That's the only way that you're going to stick to it. So you have to have discipline in your finances. Okay. So make sure with this budget, all right, the average is saying about 50% on your needs, 30% on your wants, and 20% is savings. Okay. I hope that helped. Until next Friday night, God bless you. Remember, if you give to God first, He will bless you. Have a good night, and I'll be back with you next week live. Thank you.